Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croy Dragon and welcome back to Vox Adventures. And we start off with me in the Nether. I should remember to take my armor off. Yeah, I'm recording. Now excuse me one moment as I check something. Okay, let's get started. So we begin in the Nether. Hmm. So if we ever find our way out of here, then we might be doing a boss battle. Hold on. Need a glass of water, drink of water, however you want to say it. There we go. And of course a dead end. You ever hear of Lost in Space? Well, this is Lost in the Nether. Um, okay, that was a gas. Okay, there's got to be another portal around here somewhere, right? Yes, Alex, hello. Hi. What? Hi. What's up, Alex? You want to come up? Come on. Come on. You go to the nether and suddenly the music turns into a horror game's music. Or the music for a documentary on the paranormal. Oh my god. I'm going in circles. You know what? Screw it. Ah, here we are. Downtown is decorated for Christmas. portent's not here yet. Empty until Christmas. Well, to the wilderness we go. Keep sword ready. Keep a weapon ready. Because this isn't desert. This is husk country. How long have I been fascinated with interested in cryptozoology? Oh, jeez. I must have been 4, maybe 5 years old. Watching the Discovery Channel, or guessing it was the Discovery Channel. Not sure where else a documentary of such things would be on, but it was a documentary about monsters, and the monsters still unknown to science, and the monsters that science has recognized as animals. So I was introduced to the chupacabra at a very young age. Excuse me one moment. Yes, cryptozoology and me go a long way back. Of course, I'm not sure which I saw first. It was that Scooby-Doo episode with the Loch Ness Monster, or the documentary I mentioned. Of course, I didn't know it was called cryptozoology at the time, but it's in our childhood where we're introduced to such things early on. Because these unsolved mysteries, they just stoke the imagination. The Yeti, I believe I might have been, if not the documentary, then at least an episode of The Country Mouse and the City Mouse. Or is it called Country Mouse and City Mouse? I've, no real memory, and, Sasquatch, dear me, what was the show's name? It was some show on Teletoon, which isn't on the air anymore. The show, not the channel, because the channel is still existent. Let's see here. List of programs broadcast by Teletoon. Former programming. Let's see here. Original or acquired. Huh. Let's see here. Maybe the name will jog my memory. College Square, certainly not. That was, I was 13 by the time that. I was 12 going on 13 by the time that started airing. Of course, there is an episode where Carl, Jamie, and C2 go in search of Sasquatch. Oh, hey, I got Jamie's name right. It is indeed Jamie. Not bad for a guy who hasn't watched an episode in over a decade. Definitely not. Well, huh. Eddie Lamino, yet he was created for the Donkey Kong Country animated series. Hold on, when did Country Mountain City Mouse air? Original release, 97. Uh, huh. Or, hmm. Well, I'd say in the case of the Yeti, it's a toss-up between either that documentary I mentioned, Country Mouse and City Mouse, or Donkey Kong, or the Donkey Kong Country animated series. Let's see here. Let's see. That looks great, and I don't even remember that show. Let's see here. What was it? Must have been acquired programming. An acquired program. Uh, I'll take a look into it. I'll continue looking with the next time the sun's up. But yeah, I was introduced to cryptozoology a long time. For me, it's kind of like these creatures are like searching for Atlantis or something. Atlantis, El Dorado, they're the great legends of pseudoscience, I suppose you'd say. And it's in pseudoscience that we can probably find good inspiration for stories to write. The elephant's graveyard is unfortunately a myth, or well, unfortunate. I don't know. It's a myth, just a romantic notion. But writing a story about it would be interesting. But honestly, after the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest episode, Nadovu's last journey, how could I ever top that? Well, I suppose the only way to top it would be to is is to write about the fact behind the myth. For you see, elephants don't go off to some place to die. Uh, it's more a case of round water. Elephants need water to survive, as we all do. And in droughts, elephants will go searching for water. If they don't find water, they'll die. And well, I suppose you get the idea. Eventually, bodies start to pile up in certain areas. And then you have the old elephants who basically leave the herd and retire to a lake where water's easy for them to find. They're not communal die-off spots, they're basically retirement areas. So eventually, bodies will start to pile up. Bones will. There will be bones. Uh, uh, Nadovu's last journey is one of my favorite Johnny Quest episodes, period. It's really, really good. Just want to make sure I actually got the name right, because I can't. Oh yeah, Nadovu's last journey. I mean, obviously, With a title like that, what do you expect is going to happen at the end? Even in the 60s, with the original show, Johnny Quest got in trouble with parenting groups because of the violence. It's quite tame nowadays. But still, for the time, it was pretty hardcore with the violence. Now, with the real adventures of Johnny Quest, and they were the deaths. It pretty much brought the violence back, but again, within the standards and practices for family entertainment. But even then, what I mean by that is they couldn't exactly show uh, some things, but they went pretty far with what they could. Everyone knows that in animation, if you're gonna kill someone off, the cheap way to do it is just to have them fall. They just fall and they're never seen again, and that's it. But one episode of The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest involved the villain of the episode go falling down, and we basically stay with her until she is about to splatter on the rocks below. And then there's Ndovu's Last Journey, which of course I mentioned, which features impalement on elephant tusk. Again, we don't actually see the impalement. It's actually, if I remember correctly, I mean, I have it on DVD, I just haven't watched it. I have the series on DVD, I just haven't watched it recently. If I remember correctly, it's a first person view, so we end up seeing from Alan's point of view, the elephant tusk coming up to them, and that's basically it. We hear a sickening sound, and one of the villains is dead. Okay, let's see here. I have no idea. But, I do remember it was some animated series that, I know that it was within the 1990s that I was first introduced, that I first saw Sasquatch in entertainment. The Loch Ness Monster, in that Scooby-Doo episode doesn't count. It wasn't the real thing, so it doesn't count. Now that I think of it. So when did I see the actual Loch Ness Monster in entertainment, and not just a submarine disguised as it? I don't know. Gargoyles is a possibility, but I didn't see that episode until the high school, well after the show was off the air. Godzilla the series, no, I didn't see that episode until the show was off the air. Say probably Kong the animated series. Yeah, probably Kong the animated series. Of course, the Loch Ness Monsters appeared in a few documentaries, and of course, I've seen a few. Yeah, but then we have the cryptids that don't get as much spotlight. Of course, you may have heard of them. For instance, the Mothman. And then the Mothman of West Virginia, and then you have his Cornish counterpart, the Owl Man. Then you have the granddaddy of all bats, as Ivan T. Sanderson called it, the Oli Tea Owl, somewhere in Cameroon. Over in Australia, you have, or in Australia or Tasmania, you have the Megalania, a long extinct species of monitor lizard. We're talking prehistoric, like big, big thing, big honking thing, bigger than the Komodo dragon. It's got to, I mean, it's prehistoric. It's got to be big as a car or something. And then you have those regional things down in the States, like sheep squatch, bat squatch, bizarre things. Bizarre. Yeah, Monsters and Mysteries in America has been off the ears for some time now. Did I ever watch it on TV? No, I watched it on YouTube because I didn't have the channel. Yes, I don't know if I did. I wasn't about to go looking. I just was looking on Wikipedia one day for documentaries about that sort of thing. I found it, so I checked it out. And by checking it out, I basically upgraded. I've gradually graduated to scarier ones. Truth or Scare and Mystery Hunters definitely scared me when I was a kid. In my teenage years, Monster Quest got me on edge at times. Oh, geez, that Curse of the Monkey Man episode, that definitely got me. I'd hear a sound and I'd go, what was that? I'd go down to get the mail, and I didn't know if I was going to be suddenly attacked by something. It really, oh yeah, I mean, it's a documentary, but still, the reenactments, oh, that was really something. Especially the first one, where the monkey man's attacking a woman. Oh man, I don't know. How did I see, and do I remember it all those years ago? I've watched it again recently, and but still, you just seen this humanoid thing with dark fur jump onto a rooftop and start attacking a woman, and I don't know what sort of effect was done. I mean, it was done practically with a person in a suit, I think. But I don't know if the footage was sped up or maybe slowed down or a bit of both, but it just looked uncanny. It was a tad bit disturbing. But then you get to Monsters and Mysteries in America, and yeah, I ended up getting nightmares sometimes. A college student getting nightmares from that sort of thing, it's not as unlikely as you think. It was kind of like the reenactments, they were kind of like horror movie sometimes. I mean, the reenactments are probably gonna be like horror movies sometimes, regardless of the age group, but as you get older and go into a bit more stuff for an older audience, obviously, well, you get the idea. It's too bad there's not a work of fiction that goes into those unsolved mysteries, like each story would be something else. Um, mm, I mean, a lot of these things, like cryptids or lost cities, there's a long history a lot of the time with these things, and really it gives you a lot to work with. Now, when it comes to the Yeti, the most I've ever heard of, the most reference I've ever gotten to the real life investigations or sightings or whatever are Sir Edmund Hillary's mention of how they don't exist in the Johnny Quest episode Monster in the Monastery. Or not. Now that I think about it, the real adventures of Johnny Quest episode Expedition to Kumbu did feature a mummified Yeti hand, and there is, somewhere in that general area in the world that supposedly has Yeti, a skeletal Yeti hand. Apparently it's a Langer monkey hand, actually, but still, it's a good story. There's a lot of theories about, well, uh, a lot of cryptids. Some believers say Sasquatch is related to Gigantopithecus. Of course, how something that basically looked like a giant orangutan can uh, evolve into what basically amounts to an ape man is beyond me. Oh, jeez. Welcome to Husk Country. Be on the ready. Yes, be on the ready. What is that? A pagoda? Or something? Oh, we've come to Sushi Town. Hmm. Actually, it would probably be smart just to stay here while the sun rises. The Mothman is often connected with the fall of the Silver Bridge in this year, 67, 68. When did that collapse? Yeah, 67. I mean, if say such a work of fiction were to exist about these unsolved mysteries, and that you were to do an episode on the Mothman, well, there's apparently been sightings post 67, and there is an official well, explanation, but a lot of people believe that the Mothman's appearance was an omen or a warning. But if you were to actually fit the Silver Bridge into it, I mean, the collapse into it, it would have to be a period piece. Which I'm not opposed to. A lot of the things I write are period pieces. Yeah, hold on, gotta plug in the charger. Yeah, but it's really the Silver Bridge collapse that, and the Silver Bridge collapse and the Mothman's connection to it that uh, really stokes interest. It overshadows the later sightings, which aren't as many. And now that I mention the Mothman, there was a copy of the Mothman Prophecies in my 8th grade homeroom. Uh, how was it? Don't really remember. Didn't really read it. I definitely remember well, didn't really seem to be focused on the Mothman as a bunch of things, if I recalled. I think the first chapter was based on around the Mothman. I have no idea. Good lord, it's been so many years. I'm probably never going to see that book again. I mean, I don't know, maybe. Maybe I will. I doubt it's out of print, and if it is, I'm likely to find it in some used bookstore. Do I want to read it? I don't know, maybe. I quite enjoyed Monsters Among Us, Journey into the Unexplained, which of course I did do a reading of for YouTube. Oh, it's a long one. It's, of course, non-fiction usually is. I can't for the life of me remember if the Mothman was even featured in that book. I don't know a lot. I know what was and what I don't know. Oh, what wasn't. Sasquatch, the Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, ancient astronauts. There were so many things that I'm. Oh, can't forget the sea monsters or the UFOs. Can't forget those. I wanna say the Mothman was featured in that. I mean, for a man who's done a reading of it for YouTube, you'd think I'd remember. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm thinking of the other books recommended at the end of the book. Like, the Mothman Prophecy certainly was recommended. In Minecraft, we basically already have Mothman with the race. Of course, other people might compare them more to vampires. Whatever you want to call them. The race, certainly fit the flying monster thing. Honestly, I'm not sure if the Mothman's interested me all that much. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. More in the hominids that has interested me, and for non-hominids, it would only be Gavel Man, uh, which is far more actively antagonistic, you might say, than the Mothman, which was far more passive. Um, Report of the Mothman attempting to abduct a baby aside, which is scary in itself. Skeptics are saying the owl man is a misidentified eagle owl, but I don't know if eagle owls are actually native to Cornwall. I mean, probably are. I mean, if it's misidentification, they have to be. And if I were to create this hypothetical work of fiction, I'd probably want to do a lot of ambiguity. Is it real? Is it not? Let the reader decide. The Jacko hoax, which is, of course, associated with Sasquatch. Some people would say it was a gorilla, but unless it was escaped from a circus, I don't know what a gorilla would be doing in the Canadian wilderness. Jacko, whatever he was, if he even existed, was some be he gorilla or Sasquatch, was a captured thing. I don't know, hominid. Let's go. I don't know. I don't know what to call him. A captured individual. There we go. That's what we'll call him. He was a captured individual that people came to see. Kept in a town jail or something or other. I don't really remember. I mean, I could look it up, but I'm not going to do that right now. I want to stay focused. But while I talk about him. Wow, look at that. What happened to Jocko? Allegedly, he escaped, I believe. But don't quote me on that. I'd actually have to check my sources. I mean, the Jacko hoax? I don't know. And if you were gonna, if I was to reference that, it would probably have to be with people who had never seen a gorilla before, or had and didn't know what to make of them. Because with the ambiguity, I can only go so far. I'd have, if I were to write it, I don't know. The Yeti I can only get away with being ambiguous with. I mean, cases of misidentification do happen, and there are more mundane explanations of what the Yeti could be. And at the end of it all, it would rest upon the reader to determine what it is. But even with the ambiguity, I might lean towards the possibility of it being real. And if I'm going to be honest, the misidentification explanation would just get owned. So I'd have to come up with something out with a different explanation a lot of the time to keep the ambiguity, I guess. Oh, good lord. How many times would I be able to use the... Oh, it's just a bear thing. By my count, probably at least 3. Yeah. 3 times at least. If not more. And honestly, that would get old. Hmm. With Loch Ness Monster, the misidentification would probably be a circus elephant swimming in the loch, or big, really big fish. Or, yeah, there's probably other things. But the misidentification angle could get owned pretty quickly. And it wouldn't be so much of answering what these things are, cryptids, but, um, well, they're unsolved mysteries. They're not meant to be solved in the end. And we definitely need a villain for. Hmm, I don't know. Maybe you could get away with a villain for not uh, not having a villain. You could get away with not having one for a few stories. Oh man, but that one Marvel story, How I Became the Abominable Snowman. That has such a good ending. I'd be hard pressed not to reference it in some way. Hmm. Boots are still there. Alex? Hi. What's up? Hey. What? Alex, you can get on the chair. What? Good boy. Hi. Now I actually want to be able to tell what I'm looking at. I'm still not used to this texture pack. Oh jeez. Bunch of gold going in the disposal. Let's see here. What's that? What am I doing? This would be mine. Or... no. My redstone. Hi, Alex. What? You're fine. Hey. What? You coming up? Hi. What's up, Alex? You coming up? Come on. You want up? Come on, you can jump. Please give me my redstone. No! My redstone! Give it to me! No! Where's my redstone, you son of a bitch? Huh? I mean, with this hypothetical work of fiction I've been talking about, keep the main cast small. I don't know, like 5 characters. A lot of nothing. I mean, if you just wanted to focus on monsters, Wendigo might be a bit scary. I mean, even with the episode Lost Tapes being basically for a horror I mean, that was for a horror show, basically. Um, Geez, Wendigo. Even with family audiences, that would be. I mean, something that centers around cannibalism is, a lot. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Something that can move through time and space to get to its victim. That's quite good. That works good regardless of the audiences. It definitely scares the audience. It definitely gives a good sense of paranoia. Build the atmosphere. You never know if this thing's gonna attack you or not. I mean, if you're going to write something about these things and entertain the idea that they may not or may not be real, you definitely have to set the tone for the fact that they might be. Wendigo psychosis is a real thing, but for the fantastic uh, uh, part of the story, a cannibalistic monster that can and will travel through go through time and space to get to you is something that really will help with the atmosphere. Use that. Those frozen skeletons, maybe they're called the Wraiths, and the flying things are called the Shades. I can't remember right now. What is this? Oh, it's a bouncy castle. Thunderbird, hmm. Yes, that would be quite interesting. Not sure how you could entertain the idea of it not being real. I'm not even sure how misidentification would work. A bird with a wingspan the size of a war canoe. Not sure how you'd make it work, but you could give it a shot. Of course, a plane made to look like a bird might be pushing it into the fantastic, into the realm of the fantastic. Of course, with the whole might be real, might not be. If you're of the it's not real persuasion, be respectful. Don't be condescending or insulting of the belief that it could be. Because the point is ambiguity with this thing. Could be real, could not be. Welcome to Chickenville. Population? Can't really see from up here. Well, that's all for today, everyone. I'm Brian Croydregan signing out. Stay straight.